I will try to be succinct. I never know how it's going to end up, but I will try. Um, there's so much to say. I mean, the particular book that I'm referring to goes through over 19 different things that ISIS does that's blatantly against things that are agreed upon by consensus of the scholars, for centuries. So, I mean, just some things, the idea of torturing a prisoner, setting someone on fire. I mean, obviously killing, but one of the justifications that they use for killing people or targeting people is that they are not Muslim. So for example, like in their writing, they'll say the I can't even repeat it, but they're calling Sheikh Hamza Yusuf someone who's not Muslim, and they're justifying because they don't consider him to be Muslim. That's you have cause to kill him, and all of this goes completely against our faith. There is no torture by fire. There's no torture, period. But explicitly, there's no torture by fire. There is no mutilation of the human body. Non-combatants are not to be killed. The faith is to be protected. The list goes on and on. The faith of all people are supposed to be protected. If you take the life of someone who is considered from the dhimmi, where there's a peaceful contract between them and a Muslim community, or in a particular land, then the Prophet says, I will be their defender on the Day of Judgment. In terms of the actions that they're doing and how they're categorized as the Khawarij, the Prophet has used the harshest language against this category of people. The Prophet, peace be upon him, is an example of mercy and kindness. That's why whenever you find in his language harshness, it's like, whoa, this is severe, because he always has a language of forgiveness and mercy. But when it comes to these kinds of extremists, he said, they are the worst of those who are killed on earth. They are the worst of God's creation. He actually, there's an idea that this type of extremism is also demonically inspired. He refers to them as the dogs of hell. I mean, he never uses language like this, ever, except when it comes to a category of people who are using, God's religion, the name of God, the scripture of God, to fight what God is calling for in his name. So they're trying, essentially, they're an entity that is seeking to make Islam, or that they're trying to make Islam and Muslims, the situation for them, untenable, using Islam and Muslims. I mean, it's at the very bottom of the harm that can be done on earth. The Prophet said that the verses that they recite, they will come to you and they'll recite verses better than you. They will read more Quran than you. They will pray more than you do. But the verses don't go past their throats. And so he describes them and he says in prophecy that they will emerge throughout time until they emerge at the end of time. And at the end of time, it's in one of the narrations, it says that they will emerge as the army of the Antichrist. Those who are fighting against the Prophet Jesus, who we also believe will return. So there is this, Islam places ISIS as enemy number one, in terms of we as a Muslim community are I want to say, emphatically opposed to them. I'm much more concerned about ISIS than I am about Islamophobia. I would much rather see ISIS wiped out, tomorrow, than I'm worried about. Yes, of course, I'm concerned about Islamophobia, but I am much more. And also, the Prophet said that they will kill Muslims. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he said that they will kill Muslims claiming things about them. And we know that ISIS kills more Muslims by far. The numbers of Muslims they kill are much more and greater in number than those of other faiths. So they fit the description that was prophesied.